Hi everyone, in this video I'll be teaching you how to write an email in English. Email is a quick and quality means of communication when you want to stay in touch with a person who is hard to reach via telephone. So, email is a good way to communicate with your friends as well as your relatives. Today, companies and organizations communicate with other companies, clients, suppliers, and other companies and organizations for business purposes through emails. So this again shows that email is the most common form of communication in the business world. And the concrete example is that 95% of US online consumers use email for communication and business. In English, we make a distinction between two types of emails: formal emails and informal emails. Formal emails are typically sent to someone you don't know well or to someone who is in authority. Examples of someone whom you might send a formal email to include your professor, a public official, your boss, a government official, and so on. Informal emails, also known as casual emails, usually go to a person you know well, like a friend or a family member. Now let us see more differences between formal and informal emails. So the answer to the question, what are the main differences between formal and informal emails, is detailed in the following slide. As you see, the areas of differences between informal emails and formal ones are the following: purpose, recipients, style of writing, salutation, and closure. The purposes of writing informal emails can be to mark a special occasion, to invite someone, to express your condolence to a friend who has lost someone, or to congratulate someone on his or her newborn. In contrast, the purposes of writing formal emails can be to inquire about information, to apply for a job or grant, to make a complaint, or to send an apology. The recipient in an informal email is often a person you know, like a friend or relative. However, in a formal email, the recipient is always a person you don't know well. The recipient can be the manager of a company or a hotel, the dean of a university, an official, and so on. The writing style used in an informal email is informal. That is, we may use contractions like can't, won't, shouldn't, and so on. We may use informal words like kids, guy, awesome, a lot, and so on. We may also use abbreviated words like photo, TV, and etc. However, in a formal email, we avoid using contractions, informal words, and abbreviated words. For greeting the recipient in an informal letter, we use either there, or hello, or hi, plus your recipient's first name. So you address your recipient in an informal letter using his or her first name. On the contrary, in a formal email, we address the recipient using their plus his or her family name, and we use the titles Mr., Mrs., or Miss before the name of our recipient. When we don't know the name of our recipient, we use their sir or their madam. We can also address the recipient by his or her title. For closing an informal email, we use expressions like best wishes, all the best, goodbye, see you soon, bye for now, or all the best. For closing an informal email, we can use the expressions best wishes, all the best, goodbye, see you soon, bye for now, or all the best. And for closing formal emails, we use either the expression yours faithfully when we know the name of the recipient, or yours sincerely when we don't know the name of the recipient. Well, consider this email. From the salutation and the writing style used in the email, it's crystal clear that it is an informal email. Now let us study the elements or the components of an email. So every email has the same basic structure. An email, be it formal or informal, has the following elements. The first element of an email is what we call the two-line or the two-field. It's the field where you type your recipient's email address. The second is the carbon copy line or the carbon copy field. It's the field where you type the email addresses of more recipients to receive the same email. The third is the subject line or the subject field. It's the field where you type the summary of the email. In this field you write the summary of the content of the email. The fourth is salutation, and salutation means the way you greet your recipient. The fifth element is the email body. An email should have at least 3 body paragraphs, and we're going to talk about what to include in these paragraphs in the following slide. The sixth component of an email is the email closure, and the last one is signature. The main part of an email is the body. So now we are going to talk about what to include in the body paragraphs of an informal or a formal email. Before you write the first body paragraph of an informal email, you write a short opener. In the short opener, you may ask about your recipient or thank them for the last email before diving into your main message or request. And the expressions that can be used in the opener are the following. How are you? I hope you're fine, or I hope you're feeling great. You can also use the expression I'm so glad to hear from you, or thank you so much for your last email. Then you write your first body paragraph. In the first body paragraph, you explain your purpose of writing. You can write, for instance, I'm now writing to answer the question you asked me in your last email, or I'm now writing to tell you about this and this. In the second paragraph, you type the content of your email. The last body paragraph usually ends with something like this: write me back soon, or I look forward to hearing from you soon. As for the body of the formal email, it should contain 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you introduce yourself, and you do so especially when you write an email to someone for the first time. After that, you explain your purpose of writing. For introducing yourself, you can write, for example, my name is, plus your first name and your family name. For stating your purpose, you can use one of the following expressions: I would like to, I'm writing to bring to your kind notice, or to draw your kind attention to, or to call your attention to this and this. In the second paragraph, as in an informal email, you type the content of your email. And in the last paragraph, you summarize your reason for writing again, and you call to action. What do you mean by calling to action? You make clear what you want the recipient to do. Well, now let us practice email writing through this exercise. Write an email to the Minister of Education in your country to draw his attention to the reality that your high school lacks a library, and urge him to take the appropriate measures to set it up at the soonest possible time. Use the sample email below to help you write it. Here is the email address of the Minister of Education: contact@min.gov. So according to the instruction, you are required to write a formal email, because your email is going to be addressed to the Minister of Education in your country. You are given an email template to help you write your email. You are also given some tips to help you write the email. So after writing the email address of your recipient and the subject of your email, the next element that should be written is salutation. After that, you write the first body paragraph, in which you are required to introduce yourself and state your purpose of writing. In the second body paragraph, you are required to write the content of your email, so you can stress the importance of the school library. You can talk about its importance for students. In the third body paragraph, you are required to call to action. In other words, you have to urge the Minister of Education in your country to take urgent action to set up a library in your school as soon as possible. After that, you are required to close your email and sign it. So here is the answer of the exercise. So in the to field, I have written the email address of the Minister of Education in my country, contact@min.gov. In the subject field, I have written the summary of my email, a request to set up a school library. I started my email by salutation. Dear Mr. Amzazi, this is the family name of the Minister of Education in Morocco, so it is known. In the first body paragraph, I introduced myself. I spoke on behalf of the students in my school. So I introduced myself. After that, I stated my purpose of writing. We are the students of Imam Ali High School in Rish. We are writing to call your kind attention to the fact that our high school is the only school that lacks a school library in the Darata Filat region. In the second body paragraph, I wrote the content of my email. I stressed the significance of a school library. As you know, the school library is the most important part of a school. It's the space where students can boost their knowledge on different topics, prepare for the exams, conduct the research studies, think, create, share, and grow. And given that our school lacks this space, we are deprived of these opportunities. In the third paragraph, I called to action. In other words, I requested the Minister of Education in my country to take the appropriate measures to set up a library in my school at the soonest possible time. We therefore request you to take the appropriate measures to set it up at the soonest possible time so that all students would benefit from its resources. After that, I closed my email. I used the expression, "We look forward to hearing from you soon. Yours sincerely," and I signed it. Imam Ali High School students. Well, this is the end of the video, dear students. I hope that you learned something from it, and thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye.